Well. Look what we got here. Canada, you have been sold a dream. And y'all have definitely been handed a nightmare. Mark Carney, the global banker turned prime minister, promised to handle Donald Trump, fix the trade, and lead y'all into prosperity. But instead, why won't y'all just listen to us? Instead, y'all, they got tariffs, economic collapse, warnings, and policy straight out the World Economic Forum playbook, y'all. This is the man that the media called a financial wizard. Well, it's time to expose him, y'all. I mean, Trump was trying to do a good deed. 51st state would have been straight. All of the above. But this is what happens when people go in and vote. And now y'all in a nightmare. And I'm not finna say all of y'all, okay? Because you do got some good people who still got common sense. But unfortunately, y'all have to suffer for the rest of the bimbos and their decisions. So with that being said, y'all, we're going to dive into the first clip coming straight from Jingla He on X. Mark Carney during his election. So this is, Mark Carney talking ish. So we're going to get into this, y'all, and then we're going to dive into some good tea. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all, and chop it up in the comment section because I definitely want to know your thoughts. Let's go.
What? You can handle them. We can handle them. We are going to handle them. We are going to handle them. We can handle them. We can handle Donald Trump. That's what he misses, and I'm going to go into that. What?
Okay.
You can handle them. We can handle them.
And of course, this man did come down and get that Trump foot kicked in the air because he wasn't talking all of that then. He actually sat there and came to our president's house and lied. Literally lied to him. Talking about he gonna handle him. Really? Seriously? Handle Trump? No trade deal, no leverage, y'all know nothing. It shows you the disconnect between his banker arrogance and political reality, y'all. Let's keep this thing moving, okay? Well, I got somebody that's going to break it down. Coming straight from Blender News. That's Blender News on X if y'all want to follow this guy. Canada voted for an economic collapse. Pretty much. Let's dive into this clip, y'all.
Canada voted for economic collapse and the warning signs are no longer subtle. They're flashing red. In its April 2025 International Economic Outlook report, Wells Fargo delivered a grim assessment. Canada is expected to enter a technical recession this year. While tariffs will undoubtedly sting, the deeper issue is collapsing confidence in a currency in freefall. Exchange companies warn the Canadian dollar will weaken from buying 72 cents USD today to just 67 cents by late 2026, meaning your dollar will soon be worth roughly 2/3 of an American's. This collapse isn't normal. It's a symptom of deep economic mismanagement. Between 2012 and 2013, the Canadian dollar consistently traded near or above parity with the US dollar, with months like March 2012 and August 2012 hitting exchange rates of $1 USD or more. Even into 2014, it hovered close to 90 cents USD. In other words, for years, Canada's dollar was strong, competitive, and stable, but under a decade of Liberal governance, it has steadily eroded. Today, the loonie is worth nearly 30% less than a US dollar, and it's only getting weaker. At the same time, the newly elected Liberal government under Mark Carney plans to make the situation worse. If their platform is implemented in full, Canada's deficit will balloon to 3.1% of GDP in 2025 and 3.2% in 2026. Levels not seen since the peak of pandemic emergency spending. For context, our historical average deficit before COVID was just 0.4% of GDP. This isn't just a blip, it's the continuation of a decade-long trend of mismanagement. In 2014-2015, before the Liberals took power, Canada collected $282.3 billion in revenue and ran a $1.9 billion surplus. In 2024, the government collected an estimated $498 billion, a staggering 76% increase in taxation, yet we're drowning in debt. Over the past decade, the Liberals added over $625 billion to the national debt. More income, more taxes, but still deeper in the red? That's not just incompetence. It looks a lot like theft. Whether it's the $54 million ArriveCan app that was supposed to cost $80,000, or the hundreds of millions funneled through the so-called Green Slush Fund into liberal-friendly ventures, taxpayers are definitely being looted here. Fitch Ratings has even taken notice. They've revised Canada's projected deficits sharply upward and warned that our AA credit rating is at risk. Gross government debt is expected to exceed 90% of GDP in 2025, far above the pre-pandemic level of 82% and nearly double the AA median of 50.6%. So where's all this money going? According to the Liberals' new Canada Strong blueprint, more than half of all new federal spending will be capital related. That means the government isn't just running programs, it's acquiring assets: housing, AI systems, data infrastructure, critical minerals. They're not just funding the economy, they're buying it. That "you'll own nothing and be happy" quote isn't just a meme. It's Canada's fiscal policy.
Woo! Y'all, that ain't leadership, baby. It's not. It's looting the own people, your own people, while smiling on cameras with a smile. Like the devil in disguise. Nuh-uh. I be trying to say these folks, man. I really do. Just little old me. You know what I'm saying? Who, you know, I be trying, y'all. Try to wake up as many as we can. You know what I'm saying? Sharing the word and things like that. But people are just stuck in their ways. And unfortunately, that's just the reality of it. And now other people who probably didn't even want to have anything to do with this has to suffer. Let's dive into it, y'all. Coming straight from Right Tap Media on X. That's Right Tap Media CA. Let's dive into the next clip. Let's see what this man got to say himself. Let's go.
Let me ask you a final skeptical question.
Yeah.
If we cast our way 50 years forward and then review what's happened, will you be able to say, do you know, if it hadn't been for the fact that the Bank of England and other similar banks across the world got together, this would never have happened?
We'll be able to say that we are putting in place the foundations that will absolutely amplify, in a positive way, effective climate action by governments. One thing about the financial markets, one of their real power is if they can pull forward action from the future to the present. If there's credible policy. After all, most of what central banks do is effectively that. Markets have confidence that we'll do what's necessary to achieve our inflation target, if I can use that.
Would it be inevitable
And
that
they
people
pull it
would go
forward.
to the wall as a result of it?
Look, companies that don't adapt, including companies in the financial system, will go bankrupt without question. But also, there will be great fortunes made along this path, aligned with what society wants. And so, provided that not just the objective is put in place, but some of the climate policies continue to be put in place, not by us, by others, we will have the financial system ready to amplify the effectiveness of those policies and move the country forward. And last thing, and I think it's sometimes undersold here, is that the UK is at the forefront, and the UK, by demonstrating that it can make these adjustments, will encourage others to come along.
Okay, so he clearly just said if you don't, pretty much his climate finances, if you don't adapt to his green agenda plan, etc., the winners, massive corporation, and the lawyers and the lobbyists, they play along. But the losers is the small businesses, working Canadians, and anyone who can't pay the green toll to survive. This isn't about the planet. It's about power. It's about draining folks. It's about how can our pockets stay fat? How can we stay rich? And how can we just keep everybody who's actually putting forth stay below us? If you want to sum it all up. Y'all picked them. Let's get into it, y'all. We're gonna get a little deeper into this. Okay. Coming straight from Vesper. That's Vesper Digital on X. The fact that Mark Carney is heralded as some kind of financial wizard is actually the greatest joke played on the liberal zombie base. Let's get into it.
I think it is extraordinary that Mark Carney has become the Prime Minister of Canada. He did a terrible job in Britain of the governorship of the Bank of England. He created a lot of the problems that blew up on my watch and that I got blamed for were actually created by him. He backed Labour in the election and Rachel Reeves's policies, which are leading the country to bankruptcy. So why on earth the Liberal Party of Canada has selected this man, I have no idea. And I think it is illegitimate that this guy has never been elected as a member of Parliament in Canada. I'm utterly puzzled. And Justin Trudeau has pursued a lot of the same policies that Europe has been pursuing. And America has raced ahead of us. Back at the turn of the millennium, the average Brit was catching up with the average American in terms of income per head. Wow. We are now $34,000 a year behind. We are poorer than Mississippi, which is the poorest American state. And the same is true of France and Germany, and to some extent of Canada, because they pursued all of these woke policies. High taxes, high spending, not using their natural resources. And Justin Trudeau was the architect of that. And of course, Mark Carney has been the advocate of these policies. So I don't know what is going on in Canada, but in the same way as I think people in Britain need to wake up to what the real threat to our country is, I think they need to wake up in Canada.
And she is not lying, y'all. Even the UK, Carney's reputation isn't what the media here tells you. Former Prime Minister Liz Truss says policies left a mess for others to clean up. And now he's taking it out to Canada doing the same thing now. Y'all got to wake up. I mean, he in place because y'all put him there. Y'all just gonna have to live through it. He didn't literally put Canada in a recession. He ain't even been in it that long with y'all. It's already in a recession. Think smarter, not harder, man. Let's keep it going, y'all. I keep going. I keep going. Okay? Because it's time to wake up. Right here, Jasmine Laney on X. That's Jasmine Laney _. Every single thing about Mark Carney's wealth and power is tied to pushing the green and what we just heard him witness and say, and anti-resources matrix, Marxist agenda. He's not even hiding it. Matrix agenda, my bad. Let's get it.
The number one thing, when you have somebody whose financial ties, activism, lobbying, whether it's registered or just through your networking, is all tied to ESG investment funds, it's tied to green finance groups, WEF circles, that is not a fringe conspiracy. Doesn't matter how many times they say it. And the fact that they keep saying it should let you know that you're on the right track here. Every single one of those is actually just public record. Every single thing about his wealth and power are directly tied to pushing for frameworks that are top-down governance. So to have a robust, resource-rich Canada is a complete threat to his playbook. A controlled, dependent, decarbonized Canada, that's the ideal use case for his economic vision. And it appears as though they're not trying to make Canada stronger. That's why they villainize people who call them out so bad. They're just trying to make Canada more compliant. And it's working.
Crazy, y'all. Crazy. This isn't about saving the environment. It's about locking Canada in under someone else's blueprint. His blueprint. And this is what happens when you get a libtard in charge. Okay? They talk a good talk. Then when they get in there, they forget about who put them there. Y'all, which leads me to the last clip of the day. I want to know y'all thoughts. Canada, I know it ain't a lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Trump tried This man came down to his home and lied to his face, and now they are facing the consequences behind this man's action, behind the people who voted this very man in to do exactly what he said he was going to do, which was a lie. Which was a lie. Then drug Canada through the ground. Okay, the receipts is out there. Y'all go look it up. Don't take me for it. Go look it up for yourself. And drove Canada into a recession. You greedy mother effer. I told y'all they don't do nothing but think about themselves. They don't do nothing but think about themselves. Y'all, we got to start thinking about us. Okay? Well, I need to know y'all thoughts in the comment section. We about to dive into the last clip coming straight from Cat Canada on X. That's @CatCanda_TM. If y'all like to follow her. Let's just, he's finna break it down for y'all. Let's dive into it.
Grand poobah of the currently wretched but still dangerously powerful Liberals, one Mark Carney, is one of the world's prime advocates of the insane inanities of net zero. He is a man who has planned in writing, not least in his best-selling book, Values, the complete destruction of the fossil fuel industry. Bye-bye, Alberta, if that's not bad enough. And it is. He's also simultaneously an advocate of the same post-national view of Canada defined by Trudeau Jr. and his moralistic minions. What are we?
Y'all know about his fruity booty.
According to such good thinkers, nothing. But if anything, the oppressive, patriarchal, white, supremacist, identityless, colonial settler state defined by the progressive ideologues in the think tanks and elite dining rooms in Eastern Canada and the protest encampments on the campuses of Canadian universities. None of this fills the MAGA crowd with admiration, in case it needs to be said. None of it bodes well either for the economy of Canada. Doomed to replacement, according to Carney, by the hydrogen, solar, and wind power that either does not exist, that would be hydrogen, or that would doom Canadians to starve and freeze in the dark if it ever came to replace the reliable grid and transportation we all so desperately depend on when it's 40 bloody below. We may, when arguing so expensively and incompetently with the Americans, continue to congratulate ourselves on our comparative righteousness. That diet will become even thinner gruel, however, in a future characterized by their explosive economic growth and our rapid descent toward comparative poverty and irrelevance, green though that pathway may be argued, however falsely to be. Carney, to put it bluntly, is not a man like Justin Trudeau, a second-rater, under the mere influence of the World Economic Forum, that Malthusian fear-mongering cabal of authoritarian elitists, drunk on the fumes of their own self-righteous delusions. He is, by contrast, a veritable leader of that movement, an organizer par excellence of ESG, stakeholder capitalism, diversity, equity, and inclusiveness, and degrowth. Out with the old, the Liberals claim, and in with the new. But the new will be everything Trudeau so terribly was, but a lot more efficiently.
Okay, y'all, come on now. Canada didn't vote for independence. You voted for a banker with global loyalties, debt, and skyrocketing, trade and tanking of our dollars. Okay? This what y'all want? Seriously, this is pretty much what y'all voted for. In New York, I heard the percentage that Zahoran, whatever guy name got, is skyrocketed too. The ones with common sense, y'all better go ahead and think about packing your stuff up and getting the hell on, because I'm telling you, we be trying to tell y'all and trying to wake y'all up. Some of them reality is going to be stuck in their ways. Some of them actually love the nightmare. I'm just telling y'all now, get your things, get up and go.